Yay Networks.
What up? What up? What up? We
yo.
back up in this thing.
Peace. This peace.
My name is Cornelius. This is my beautiful wife, Heather.
Mrs. Lindsay.
And this is life, y'all. This is life,
This
yo.
is real
My
life.
wife is like,
And I'm
she's
missing so many trays right
she's
now.
trying to trade, and she's trying to get her food delivered here because we're hungry. And
All right, I'm done.
so the last
Focus.
2 weeks we've been talking about like the 13 things that we've learned in our marriage.
Yeah.
But we need to talk about like some of those words, some of those phrases, those things that we've used over the years that have torn us apart.
Yeah.
And then
I
some
don't want
of
to
the
bring up
things
too
that
much
have
old stuff.
brought us together.
Yeah.
So you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first. So I think one of the things that has helped us in the past is using the keyword Jesus.
It's worked sometimes.
It worked for me.
It's worked for Heather. It's
So the
go ahead,
keyword,
finish,
so this
you know.
is the thing. In conflict, I process differently than my husband. I like to think about it. Like he will be like, let's talk about it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to you. I actually don't want to be near you right now. And you want me to talk and open up? Like, no, I'm not going to. I'm a runner. I'm a track star. Like I am not trying to talk right now.
That's accurate.
And
You
this
will
one,
run.
this one loves to confront and talk it out, but I can't think. So I don't know. And so then I'm like, I'm going to say something. You're going to push me to say something that you don't want to hear,
Which has happened.
And then what happens is I say something that I haven't quite processed. And then he blows up and he's mad because of what I said. But I was like, you forced me to say it. You made me talk. When I told you I wasn't ready to talk, you got to let me process. You know what I mean? Because I process differently than you do. And so I was like, I'll get back to you in like a day. Give me like 24 business hours. You know what I mean? And he's just like
24 business hours, not just 24 hours. That's not even a day. 24 business hours
24
is like
business hours.
that's what, 3 days.
It is.
That's 3 days. That's 3 days.
I need time to process and think about it. And then what I'll do is I pop back and I'm like, wow, I really see what I did wrong in this situation. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, oh, our discussion 3 days ago. 3 days ago, babe? He's like, we've moved past that. I've moved past it. I was like, oh, I haven't. I've been processing it.
Yeah. And I want to talk about it because I don't like for stuff to linger. Like I hate for stuff to linger. Like if you want to piss me off, say, we
need
gotta
to talk.
We need to talk. I don't do well with that because
We're
it's
going to talk now.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
do well. Like if you text me like we need to talk, I'm calling
Yeah.
you right now.
Immediately.
I'm calling you right
Yeah.
now. Let's have a conversation. So we had to learn that at the beginning of our marriage. Like, wife should have texted me like we need to talk, and I'm like, hold up. Like what? I immediately go into defensive mode.
And then I'm like, yeah, we need to figure out dinner. And he's like, what?
Like, don't text me that. Like actually text me. What do you want for dinner? Or let's talk about dinner.
He gets anxious.
I get very anxious, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
hold up, what we need to talk about? We need to talk about it right now. Like what we got. I'm defensive, and I'm coming on the offensive because it's not good.
Yeah, it's not good at all.
It's not good.
No. So we had to figure out like what worked for us. And what we found is when our argument or discussion gets to a heated place where both of us are not listening and not receiving, Jesus, our code word, means that we're going to revisit this and come back to this at a later date when we're not distracted.
Yeah. And my wife does such a great job at like just chilling in that
Isn't it
moment.
crazy? I know how to chill then.
Like in that, she'd be like Jesus. And me,
I'm fine.
I'm not. So
You told me to chill, and I actually am chill.
So like she'll chill, and then I will go, hey, I'm like, Jesus? I don't care about no Jesus. Not right now. Like, no, absolutely not.
I'm like, well, that's going to be written in heaven.
Get to the pearly case, he like, you remember what you said?
Right. I got it recorded right here, and it's on the jumbo screen. And I'd be like, yep, get that.
Yeah, I would get so upset. I'm like, no, we're going to talk about this right now. I'm like, no, screw all that. Sometimes I don't say screw all that. Sometimes it's some other words that I don't want to use in the podcast.
And then I'm like, do you really think I'm going to talk to you when you're doing all of this? Like, I don't respond to that.
She says it just like that.
And I'll be
I don't
calm.
respond to that, and I'm not going to do this right now. I'm walking away, and I'm going to the other room. And
this is what I'm going to do. And I do all the little hand movements.
I'm going to do, and I'm letting you know right now. And I'm sitting there the whole time, like, in my head, all I can think about is, who she thinks she's talking to?
And I'm like, what you're not going to do is talk to me like this. That's not how we communicate with with each other. And this is not, if this is what you want to do, that's fine, but it's not what I'm going to do. And so that's exactly how I talk. And then he's like, well, you're being condescending towards me. I was like, no, I'm just not engaging in all of this right now.
Yeah, because in my head, I'm like, the fact that you're walking away from this is letting me know that this isn't important. And in her head, she's like, no, I just need time to step away from this so that I can think and process.
I can process. Yeah.
And I don't do well with that. I don't do well with that. So I need to.
Where do you think that comes from?
I need to deal with it. I don't like stuff to linger.
Yeah.
I just, like, if there's an issue, communicate with me. Like, just communicate with me, but communicate with me right now. Don't, like for me, I hate gossip. I hate slander because for me, like, a gossip is a lingering.
Yeah.
It's like it's a continuous story that's constantly being told about somebody else.
Yeah.
For me, if you're going to come gossip to me about somebody else, let's get them on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm talking about? Don't come to me
You'll
slandering
call it
me.
out.
I'm like, no.
He don't play about gossip.
I'm like, no. My boy ain't here. But we can call him. No. Let's talk. I'm just telling you what I heard. No, but he ain't here. And I feel like stuff like that, I feel like is lingering crap.
Yeah, that's real.
Let's deal with it. Let's communicate it. Let's confront it. So I'm confrontational like that. Like, let's talk about it. And Heather's like, no.
You're doing the most. You're doing the absolute most.
I've gotten better. In the sense that I've heard you
so much better.
in doing
Night
that.
and day. Because
the problem is you shut down because of how I respond.
Yeah.
So now I'm learning how to communicate better and coming to you, sitting down and be like, okay, so how can we fix this? Mm-hmm. And I've found that it's a lot easier for you to be able to process in that safe environment. Yeah, because you don't feel threatened.
Yeah, if I feel threatened, I'm not going to talk.
Yeah.
I'm literally like you're talking to yourself because I can't even think straight right now.
And in the past, when you got mad, I would get even madder because you're mad.
He would get madder because I was mad. I'm like, how you gonna be mad because I'm
like, how you gonna be mad right now?
And I'm like, how you mad because I'm mad? That don't work.
Like, no, that ain't what we doing.
And I'm like, I was like, you need to heal, friend, because you got a lot going on. We thank the Lord for the people He sent us along this journey.
Denise. You need to go live in Waters.
We love
Pastor Denise. You need to go see Denise.
You need to go down there and get your butt healed.
Yeah, but I grew up in an environment that was, I mean, for lack of better words, hostile. It was
very hostile.
It was very much like that.
So you thought that was normal?
That was communication. I didn't think it was normal. It's just that that's what I knew. You know, where it wasn't like, oh, let's sit down, let's have a conversation.
That's how I grew up.
I ain't grew up in it. I grew up in a Southern black, community.
Y'all yelled at each other in like regular conversation.
For nothing. Just yelling.
I was like, why are they so angry?
Yeah, when we first met.
No one's angry, babe. We're just talking to each other.
We're like, well, why y'all doing that? Like, even like card games and like
cussing each other out. I was like, that's toxic.
And we just leave. We be like, oh no, it's cool. Yeah, that's cousin Fred.
I'm like y'all are friends after that? Y'all almost
got into a fight, but no, we cool. Even before we leave, like, all right, now I love you. I love you, Unc. I'll see you next week. I'm like, all right, then, nephew. All right.
I was like, are we okay? Are we good?
Yeah, everybody's good. Everybody's fine.
Like, in growing up in conflict, my mom would sit me down and be like, okay, what you're going through, I know it's hard.
Oh, God.
No, literally, she would grab my hand and she'd rub it real hard. I know it's hard, what you're going through, but you're not alone. And I want you to know that I'm here, your family's here, and God's here for you. And we're going to work through this. We're going to get through this. And it's going to be better.
No.
And you're going to grow from this.
Wow.
And I love you. And there's nothing you can do that would make me not love you. Like, that was my childhood in conflict when I screwed up.
Mine was, which one of these switches, which one of these belts you want to use? I'm gonna tear your behind up. I'm gonna tear you up. But I didn't get I didn't get a lot of whoopings and stuff like that. I mean, I was a good boy. I didn't get a lot of whoopings and stuff, but yeah, and still, like, in that community, it wasn't more like, I know what you did. We're in this together.
Do you see how I parent and how it's reflected?
Absolutely.
Like, it's very, I'm very affectionate with the children, and I'm talking to them, and you know what I mean? Like,
and I don't do that. I'd be like, I'm affectionate with them, but I'm more like, What if you don't get your doggone butt up and go in there and read that book? Because, because sometimes, like, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this right after this break.
Oh, gosh.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. Give online therapy a try at betterhelp.com/Lindsay and get on your way to being your best self.
What was that?
That was joy that I got from it, being able to sit down with my therapist.
Come on. I love it. So there was a season where my husband and I were just going through some hard times in our marriage.
Yep.
And we found that marriage counseling wasn't working for us because we needed individual counseling.
Yeah.
We needed to get on video, and we're busy. We got a lot going on, and it's so convenient. So we tuned right quick into BetterHelp. We got our individual therapists that helped us to work through our own issues, our own trauma. And now we can come back together, and now we can communicate so much better. And I feel like some people are struggling or feel stuck in their marriage, stuck at their career, stuck in their jobs. And they're like, I just need somebody to help me.
Right.
And you might be thinking, we need marriage counseling. Oh, you might need your self-counseling, individual. So go sign up, get your counseling, get your help, and live your best life. You only have one life to live. Why do you spend your whole life pissed off at somebody else when you can get the help you need to work on yourself and have joy like my husband had in the beginning?
And it's just a brief questionnaire. That's all you're filling out.
Yeah.
Like my wife mentioned, like you could be at that crossroads trying to figure things out. And maps are so important for life. Yeah. You don't get in a car and just drive aimlessly. You get in a car because you have a map that's giving you a direction as to where you're going. And that's what BetterHelp is all about. That's about being able to find that professional who's able to walk you through those stages, that you're at. So if you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Lindsay's today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp. HELP.com/Lindsay's LINDSEYS. Again, betterhelp.com/Lindsay's. And y'all get 10% off your first month. Don't delay, do it today. betterhelp.com/Lindsay's. All right, so we're back. And sometimes, like, one of the things that my wife will do is I feel like her and my mom, which is so crazy. My mom does the same thing. I feel like they baby the kids.
We pose questions. We don't give directions.
Nothing.
We pose questions.
So their thing is like, do you all want to do your homework right now?
Do you want to read this book right now?
And so, of course,
they're like, no.
especially Roman, our third kid, he's like, no. And then Mimi, my mom is like, Roman, but you need to do your homework. Mimi, I don't want to do my homework right now. I don't want to do it. I want to play the game. Roman, but you need to do your homework. I said I don't want to. And
then I'm like, do you want to do it in 5 minutes?
He's like, yeah, 5 minutes. He don't know how long 5 minutes is. For him, 5 minutes is the whole day. He don't know. Yeah. And then I'm overhearing all of this in the other room. So then the dad voice comes out. Roman, get your doggone butt up that table and do that doggone homework. And then all of a sudden, he's like, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, stress.
But then 2 minutes into it, he's having fun. Yeah. He's standing on the desk talking about some 20 plus 20 is 40, 40 plus 40 is 80, 80 plus 80 is 160, and he's having fun.
Yeah, he's having fun. Even today, so, I dropped Roman off at school, and he had to go get his picture taken, and then they were all going to his class. Roman doesn't like surprises, okay?
He's like I am.
Yeah.
Hates them.
So he's, in his mind, he's like, we did orientation. So after orientation, I'm getting dropped off and going directly to my classroom. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to the gym to take a picture. That's not part of the plan, right? So because we didn't prep Roman about what's going to go on, he rebelled when we got to the gymnasium.
That's what I would do.
So I'm like, Roman, you have to take the freaking picture. Like, come on. There's this massive line. So I was like, whatever. So his little friend Willow was there, and Willow was trying to hug him and asking him to take the picture with him. And he's like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to hug you, nothing. So I was just like, here we go. So I was like, I don't even know what to do. So then we waited in this long line, and the whole time Roman's like, I ain't taking no picture. And the thing is, I believe him because he's strong.
Yeah, well, he says he ain't going to do it.
Because he said, I want to go to my classroom. I told you I'm coming to school to go to my classroom, not take this picture in this gymnasium. So I did have to call you.
You did. You called me on
and
FaceTime.
I was just like, tell Roman,
I was at the gym.
Tell Roman that he needs to take this freaking picture.
Yeah. And the phone was like glitchy, but I think the fact that he saw my face, because when he looked at it, he was like, And then it was like, and I don't beat my kids. I don't think I've ever spanked Roman. Have I ever spanked Roman?
Maybe once.
Maybe once. And I used a spoon, you know.
Yeah.
Logan probably got more. Logan definitely got more the tap taps, the pop pops, and anything. But Roman hasn't gotten a lot of pop pops.
No, not at all. But
it's the dad voice. The dad voice is frightening.
He respects and believes you when you tell him to do anything. So there's me and Mimi trying to get him to take the dang on picture.
2 adults trying to get this 5-year-old to take a picture.
So I'm sitting down trying to like negotiate. I'll give you ice cream. I'll give you all this stuff. That's the only thing that sucks is like those moments where you might be traveling or I'm not with you.
Yeah.
And Roman does not listen.
Yeah, he ain't listening.
But I'd say 99% of the time, he's super obedient. He listens.
Yeah.
But then that time, I'm like, oh. But that's our childhood. So my childhood was very, like, I never saw arguing. Never. So all
I saw.
So if you come at me crazy, I'm literally not going to listen to you because I'm blocking you out. I literally hear nothing. It's almost like wah, 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 wah. And then you're like, respond to it. And I'm like, I don't even know what you said. I didn't know what you said. And not only that, I feel like this is not a safe environment. And I've said that before too. Like,
you said that. You've like, I don't feel safe right now.
I don't feel safe in this moment. And you're like, why? And I'm like, because you're upset. And
I feel like you're attacking me.
Yeah. And you're like, but I'm not screaming. I'm like, it's not about that.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm not screaming at you. And you're like, well, no.
In this moment, I don't feel like I can open up to you and be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Right?
You said that.
And I'm like, just give me a couple hours. And you're like, hours?
I ain't got time for no hours.
He's like, no, I'm not going to the gym. I'm sitting right here. And I'm like, you're intense, friend.
Yeah. And I've had to learn like in my delivery, because like how I was raised, I don't want to continue to use that as an excuse. So I had to change. I had to learn in my delivery, like you need to take your own advice. You need to calm down.
Mm-hmm.
You need to calm down. You need to listen to what she's saying and stop assuming that your words are more important. Like listen to what she's saying. Mm-hmm. And if she doesn't feel safe, it's a reason why she's saying that. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking she doesn't feel safe because I may be yelling, but she's like, it's not even that. It's the fact that you're not even listening to me. So I don't feel heard by you. I don't feel valued by you. And it's like, okay, all right, let me chill out. All right. So tell me how you feel. And so that's what we'll do now. Like, all right, tell me how you feel. And then you will share it. Or I'll say, tell me what you heard. Mm-hmm. And she'll tell me, and I'll be like,
that's not what I said.
Baby, that is not what I said.
And he's so sweet and soft about it.
I'm like, baby, that's not what I said.
He'd be like, baby, that's not what I said. he'd be like, that's not what I said. I'm like, okay. I'm like, so can you tell me what you said? Because I heard something completely different. And then he's like, well, I said this, this, and this. And I'm like, okay, I didn't hear that. So now our discussions, because I hate the word argument. It's funny, like even from my childhood, I hate that word argument. But now our discussions are just so much more peaceful.
Yeah. But you really have to sit down. You got to like listen to each other and figure out what that communication method is for the both of you. Because like, and then throwing blows and stuff like that at each other is not going to solve anything. It's like, you're literally wounding yourself by wounding your spouse. I think the last thing is.
No, hold on. I have one thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Root. That's another key word.
Oh, that is another key word
that's
that we
changed the game for us.
Because, okay, and this is where it comes from. So my wife will say something. Like she'll be upset about something. And then she'll come at me about something. And I'm sitting there confused. Like, I'll go through like all the things in my head. I'm like, okay, what time of the month is it? Is she hungry? What time did she wake up this morning? Like I'm legit going through in my head what's going on. Because I'm like, I don't remember doing nothing. Like I don't really know what it is. And then she'll say something. I'll be like, what's the root? And she'll be like, what do you mean? What is the root? And I'm like, what's the root issue? And she'll be like, you know what? The root issue is I am exhausted right now, and the kids are running me crazy, and everybody is calling my name and everything. I'm like, all right, baby, just go upstairs. Go upstairs to the room, close the door. Here's a bag of chips. Watch TV.
And I'm ordering Uber Eats. Bring me my food.
Yeah, and then she'd take like, could you bring my food from the door? Like, all right. And I'd be like, hey, yo, take this upstairs to your mama, but do not stay in the room. Hand it to her, walk out. Y'all leave her alone. And I go to the kids. You do not talk to your mama for the next hour or two. Do you understand me?
And then they'll come up.
You're like, yes, sir.
And then you hear Logan, Roman, leave Mom alone. And then he'd be like, 1 minute. Mom, can I have some water? Just go downstairs and get the water.
All right. You're like, Mom, I had to go to the potty. Nigga, you passed 3 different bathrooms to go tell your mom.
And like 5 different adults.
He walked upstairs. Like you were downstairs where 3 bathrooms are. You walked all the way upstairs, walked in your parents' room to go to. But just like that, I think, root is important.
Root is such a key word that we always say if we're in conflict.
Because sometimes, and the reason why it's so important is because you don't want to be trying to clear up a matter, have an argument about fruit. Like you don't have an argument about something that's not even the issue. Like have a root issue. But the last one is absolutes.
Mm-hmm.
Please be cautious about saying stuff like, you always do this. Or you never do this.
We'll call each other out on absolutes in a heartbeat. Yeah. I'll be like, that's an absolute.
You always come home late. Is that really accurate? You never with the kids. That's not fair. And we'll say that to each other. We'll be like, hold on. That's not fair. Yeah. That's not fair. Well, you never plan anything. Yeah. Or you never drive. Or you never you don't never clean this. Or you don't never do that. I always do this. No, you don't.
Yeah.
You a link, you a lie, and your breath stink. Like, no, stop. Yeah. Like legit.
It's real.
You know what I mean? Take the absolutes out. Like, and then if I can,
because it makes you feel like nothing I do is ever going to be good enough for you. Yeah. And
then throwing another one kind of sideways in there is you take the absolutes out, and when you're talking to each other, like really deal with the issue, and stop dealing with the issues around it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's like hold on. Let's deal with this one issue right now.
But I think sometimes people don't know what the issue is.
That's factual.
And even like for me, you've helped bring out what the issue is in me because I didn't realize it. I don't see it. And you become like a mirror to show me. So I feel like if one of the spouse sees a consistent issue or a problem, it's important that we open up ourselves to be able to listen and receive from your spouse. Because you show me areas in me where I'm like, I'm so sorry, babe. Like even on the car ride here, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You know what I mean?
Praise the Lord. And the reason, and I'm going to tell you, the way to do it, ask questions.
Yeah.
Like legit, stop, listen, and ask questions. Be like, is that really how you feel? Well, I mean, yeah, but, so what is the but? Well, so tell me everything after that.
Yeah.
Really ask questions and then allow for that person to continue to talk. And then ultimately, like most times, I don't have to say anything. Ask a question, you'd be like, but you, you know what?
I get convicted.
I'm sorry.
Like, dang, I'm sorry.
I was like, nah, baby, it's cool.
Funny story. I had a mommy-daughter day with Tay.
Oh, Lord.
I love her. She is amazing. She's a lot like me, though. And I believe it's like a woman thing, right? In this particular case. But we spent the whole day together. I mean, I'm talking, we got our nails done, mani-pedis. We went to TJ Maxx. We went to Michael's.
Jesus.
We went to the mall.
Jesus.
We went to several stores in the mall. We went and sat down and ate lunch together.
Father fix.
We went to Irwan. We were all over. We were out for about 5 or 6 hours together. So then we go home, and then we make chocolate covered strawberries together. Okay, because this.
That's what those cocktails are.
Yeah, that's where it came from. So we picked them up out at Irwan, and then we made them at home. And then Irwan's a grocery store. And then we went to. Then that night, I'm supposed to stay in her bedroom for a sleepover. Okay, so we're watching a movie. We have all the snacks. Taylor went and got all the snacks. She got my waters and everything.
I was in the kitchen when she came down. She was like, Dad, can I get all the snacks? And I was like, I don't care. Whatever. Yeah. Do you?
She got all our snacks for our mommy-daughter. So the deal was, we go to sleep and then wake up. And the next day it's Monday. So I have to, I work in the mornings. I work my businesses in the morning. So I'm like, hey, market opens at 6:30. So I'm going to be up way before you. She's like, that's fine. Just make sure you wake me up. So I went in there at about 7, just rubbed on her, and I recorded it on my phone just in case she tried to come for me. And I recorded it, and then I went back into the room. I was like, she's sleeping. It's her last day to sleep, and I'm going to let her sleep in. Did she not come in our room and bawl her eyes out?
Cried like somebody whooped in her sleep.
I was like, what's wrong? She's like, you didn't wake me up.
She did.
I was like, hey, I did, but you were sleeping. And she was so upset. And then I started to feel like, I just spent this whole day with you. Like, is anything good enough for you? Like, and that's a real question. And then I had to be like, oh, wow, I probably do this to my husband.
We're driving and she's like, I do that to you, don't I? And I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, you do. I spent this whole day with you. We did all this stuff together. Everything.
And it's one little thing.
Small little thing.
And I'd be like,
She's like, well, you didn't do this.
No, I used to do that. I don't do it anymore.
Like, well, you didn't do this.
Do it anymore. But I think raising a daughter is showing me.
Oh, I love it. God,
showing me some sides.
Because you get so frustrated. And I'd be like, praise God. And I just I stand back and I let the Holy Spirit do his work.
Wow. Okay. Wow, okay.
I just sit back and just let God do his work. He doing it.
I mean, Tay will bawl her eyes out in 2.5 seconds flat. But it's definitely interesting to raise a little mini me. It is. She's special. But, I had to encourage her, like sometimes somebody could feel like, what they're doing is not good enough for you if it's that one little thing that you're highlighting over all the good stuff that we've done together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I was like, I did come and wake you up, but even if I didn't, I'm human.
Yeah.
And mommy has work, and that's realistic. So let's just be thankful for the time that we spend together, and I need you to grace me. You know what I mean? And so what did we do? What did I do? I told her to go back in her room, pretend like she was asleep, and I'll wake her up again.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. She went back to the room. The tears dried up because she bawled her eyes out. And I went in and I woke her up. So I wake her up very sweetly. I wake her up, I rub her arm, and I tell her, I was like, you know what I love about you? And I say it at night too. And she's like, what? And I'm like, you're so pretty. You're so kind. You're a good person. You have great character. You're godly. You're wise. And I just go through the list. So she wants that.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
You know what I do when I tuck her in?
What?
I go and I pull the covers up of I kiss on the cheek. I say, all right, good night.
Oh, really?
And she'd be like, okay, good night, Dad. And then the only one time I've woken her up, I opened the door. I said, yo, Tay. And she was like, huh? I'm like, yeah, get up.
I'm like, so sweet. I'm like, are you awake, sweet girl? You know what I love about you? And it's always different. And I'm like, you're so called by God. You're
ain't
so
did none
amazing.
Of that. I'd be like, hey, yo, Tay. I don't even go in the whole room. Like, hey, yo, Tay. Huh? Get up.
Remember I told you how to wake me up?
Yes, I remember.
What did I tell you?
It's like, could you just rub my arm or just rub my shoulder?
Be sweet.
Just be sweet. Because in the beginning of our marriage, I'd be like, yo, Heather.
And I'd be like, I don't respond to that.
We got to go.
Like,
get up.
I said, you can't wake me up in toxic ways.
Hey, yo, get up. We got to go.
But now you're so sweet.
I'm like, babe.
You give me a kiss on the forehead.
Hey, baby. And you be like, yes. Like, we're running late. The plane's going to take off and we're not going to be there at the airport.
Oh my gosh.
Like, okay.
And it's frazzled.
I'm getting up.
And then back to sleep.
All right, y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for joining us, man. It's always a joy having y'all, man. Share this with your family, your friends.
Sure.
There's married couples out there, even those couples who just trying to get it right. They're trying to figure it out, trying to learn how to talk to each other. Share it with them. Don't forget, check out our church, sabbathla.com.
Yes.
Also, go to Wildflower.org. All the ladies out there, wildflower.org.com, sabbathla.com. Get in where you fit in. We would love it if you're in the Los Angeles area. We'd love to meet you. We'd love for you to come out to one of our many services. So we love y'all so much. Introduces. We out.